Hey guys, welcome to Xbox On. So this week, the Regalia, which is the car from Final Fantasy 15, has been added to Forza Horizon 3.
So I was thinking about other games that have crossovers with other games, and here's what we found.
Dead Space hero Isaac Clarke has endured more pain and suffering than any human body is designed to take. Think of all the nightmarish creatures he's had to face, chopping them into piles of shuddering gore. No wonder he's encased his head in a metal box. Take it off and you'd hear him screaming constantly. But no amount of horror has prepared him for his next challenge, trying to land a series of tricks while standing on a tiny piece of wood attached to some wheels. Yes, when Isaac Clarke isn't running around infested space stations, he's trying to pull off gnarly tricks in the world of Skate 3. He's an unlockable character in EA's incredible virtual skate park. Just head to the cheat tab and type Dead Space 2 and Isaac is yours to do with as you wish. Which in our case means throwing him downstairs and crunching his knees, elbows and face into the tarmac. We aren't doing this on purpose, it's just our producer Matthew is really bad at Skate 3. It's a good thing that Isaac has all that body armor because he's taking some serious punishment in this play session. It would be mad to survive space only to lose your life doing a kickflip, but then Isaac is the unluckiest man in gaming. This is definitely one crossover that we didn't see coming.
One of my personal favourite gaming crossovers has got to be the inclusion of the Warthog in Rocket League. Now, obviously, I've been a massive Halo fanboy since day one. I used to spend hours in the original Halo in private matches, just driving around in Warthogs on Sidewinder with my brother, crashing into each other, having Warthog fights, and everything that we could just possibly think of. But thanks to Rocket League, which in my opinion is one of the best co-op games on Xbox, you can have a Warthog as your car called the Hog Sticker. Now, to unlock it, all you have to do is win a game of Rocket League with every available car, which, if you do it the legitimate way, can take a fair amount of time. However, it also does count exhibition matches, so you can cheat the system to get your Warthog that little bit quicker by just setting up an exhibition match against a single bot at rookie difficulty and have one goal to win, and you'll be driving around in a Warthog on Rocket League in no time at all. However, Rocket League isn't only about the Warthog when it comes to gaming crossovers. You can also get the Armadillo from Gears of War, which is pretty damn awesome as well, and is also fairly easy to unlock, as all you have to do is complete a whole season in season mode. But Rocket League definitely has one of my favourite gaming crossovers, but the big question is, what would you rather have? The Armadillo from Gears of War, or the Warthog from Halo? Make sure to let us know what you think in the comments below.
Shovel Knight is one of those games that borrows so much from a certain period of gaming that you half expect to see loads of old faces to turn up. It's one part Mega Man to one part DuckTales. Your bouncy spade is just like Scrooge McDuck's pogo cane, but neither of those faces appear. What we do get, however, is a visit from Rare's trio of fighting amphibians, the Battletoads. Exclusive to the Xbox One version of the game, you can find the trio of Rash, Zitz and Pimple hiding in one of the game's best secrets. To gain access to them, you need to enter the Hall of Champions and head all the way to the right on the first floor. Hit the wall and you'll find a secret room. Hit the bottom right corner here and you'll find a scroll that adds the Battletoads to the world map. Their secret area is a brilliant homage to their classic game. After the Toads arrive in style, our hero has to fight each of them in turn. The battles all borrow directly from their first game. In this first stretch of the fight, for example, you have to abseil down a giant pit, slashing away at your enemy whilst trying to avoid tiny mice that slice at your rope. Survive this and you'll have to fight in the dreaded Turbo Tunnel. If you watched me and Benny fail to unlock the rare replay achievement in this section of the game, you'll know how hard it is. But even though it makes us swear in agony, it's really awesome how Shovel Knight doesn't just take characters for a crossover, but changes the entire game to make sure they feel at home.
So, you know how I mentioned earlier how much I love driving around in a Warthog back in the day on the original Halo? Like, honestly, I spent a sickening amount of time just skidding about on that frozen ice on Sidewinder, but there is no better game to spend time just enjoying driving around than Forza Horizon 3. And what could be better than enjoying the Australian outback in another Halo gaming crossover, with the Warthog once again making an appearance, though it doesn't have a giant machine gun or Gauss cannon mounted on the back, which would have come in handy if you're losing a race, but it is the civilian transport version instead. What's also amazing about the Warthog in Forza Horizon 3 though is that it's also probably one of the best off-road vehicles in the game, and it's just pretty awesome to drive around, especially if you're like me and trying to still get the achievement for driving on every single road in Forza Horizon 3. One day I'll find that last one, though I don't think it's going to be any day soon. Now, for those of you that are wondering how to unlock the Warthog in Forza Horizon 3, there are a couple of things that you can do. First thing is just pay attention to the Forzathons, where you complete certain challenges to win cars, including the Warthog from time to time, though this isn't guaranteed every single month. Also, if you played Halo 5 or Halo the Master Chief Collection prior to the release of Forza Horizon 3, you should have been mailed a code, so it's worth going back and double checking.
If there's one thing this list proves, it's that old Master Chief refuses to stay in his own game. For this next entry, he turns up in Albion, the world of Fable 2. Well, sort of. You see, if you brought the Fable 2 limited collector's edition, you gained access to a rare set of armor. Found inside the treasure chest in the Hall of Heroes, this otherworldly armor was said to belong to the legendary Hal. Yes, we see what you did there, clever Fable writing person. This armor set may not be made of the same super tough materials of the Master Chief's real outfit, but it's a surprisingly good likeness of the real thing. It even comes with a melee weapon based on his energy sword. Any bandit dumb enough to attack us whilst in this outfit deserves the vicious poking they get in return. Of course, this being Fable, our hero doesn't behave in quite the same dignified fashion as our favourite spaceman. Do you think you'd ever catch Master Chief dancing a comedy jig or trying to impress the local peasants with his amazing farting abilities? You certainly wouldn't see the saviour of the universe accidentally mess up said fart and crap his pants. Think of the telling off Cortana would give him. He'd never hear the end of it. If you fancy trying this outfit out for yourself, you can now buy it as part of the bonus content pack. Well worth it for a classic Xbox crossover.
The next big game crossover we have is in Doom. Now, you'll know Bethesda always fills all their games with tons of Easter eggs, and Doom 2016 is no different. The first game crossover in Doom is with Skyrim, because while in hell, you can go into this cave and you'll find a skeleton with the famous Skyrim Dovahkiin helmet on, just laying against this pillar, which also has another really nice little touch, as he also has an arrow in his knee, because he must have been an adventurer, and that's how he ended up in hell. The next crossover in Doom is actually with Fallout 4, and right at the start of the game you can go over to one of those big closed vault doors and you can see in the bottom corner a Vault-Tec logo, who obviously make all the Fallout shelters in Fallout. Now, if you've managed to find any more crossovers in Doom, make sure to let us know in the comments below, because I'd love to hear about them.
Our next crossover really took me by surprise. The Force Unleashed is quite a serious game. Its hero Starkiller is grumpy at the best of times, and most levels have a death toll in the hundreds. Which makes it even weirder when you find a strange room in the second level decked out with giant statues of Guybrush Threepwood, the hero of the Monkey Island series. And they're not just for show. Smash up the 3 fruit machines in the room and you unlock a costume that lets you play as that legendary pirate. Now, if you've played the Monkey Island series, you'll know that Guybrush is a peace-loving pirate who solves every problem with whatever random objects he can swipe from his surroundings. He fights with wit and rubber chickens. He certainly never drives a sword through screaming soldiers. The idea of going on a murderous rampage with one of the goofiest characters in gaming history still makes us chuckle now. As far as crossovers go, the farce is strong in this one.
Now, I've noticed that I've gone for a very Halo-themed crossover in this weekend's list, and to be fair, I think that's because while growing up, I was slightly obsessed with Halo, and this next crossover is no different and is a game that I used to play a lot when my friends came around my house when I was younger, and that's Dead or Alive 4 with Spartan 458 being one of my go-to characters in the game. Because I'm just going to be honest, even though my friends were way better than me at fighting games, I just refused to give up, and eventually I did get pretty good with Spartan 458, so just stuck with her until I got good and started winning. But I think that was definitely because I was slightly Halo obsessed back in the day, more than trying to pick up a different character. Now, Spartan 458's real name is Nicole, and when you manage to unlock her within Dead or Alive, you also get the Nassau station, which you'll notice is actually the Cairo station from Halo 2's campaign, so it feels very familiar if you've played that game, and it's also quite fun to knock people off the top level, and once again, if you knock the enemy off from the right spot, they'll land onto a Warthog, which is pretty cool, so that also makes another appearance in Dead or Alive 4. But another really cool thing that you might not have known is that almost all of the resources for Spartan 458's design actually came directly from Halo 2's game data. And if you're wondering how to unlock Spartan 458, you'll need to have played all of the Dead or Alive 4 stories at least once, so you'll have to play the game a fair amount to unlock her, but I personally feel it's definitely worth the time invested, even if I'm still dreadful at fighting games.
For the first 2 seasons, Killer Instinct built itself back up to the spotlight by introducing new designs of old classic characters like Yargo and Orchid, whilst also introducing incredibly unique new characters. How many fighting games can say they've got a creepy Japanese ghost lady? Not many, that's for sure. Come season 3, however, the character roster got even crazier. Not only did we get remixes of existing characters like Kilgore and Shin Hisako, but we also got 3 guest characters, General RAAM from Gears of War, the Arbiter from Halo, and Rash from Battletoads. This elevated an already fantastic fighting game to almost become something like a Super Smash Bros. Game with some of Xbox's finest. Each guest character's playstyle fits wonderfully into Killer Instinct, and they even brought some tricks of their own. RAAM has the ability to make Krill, the creepy bat things from Gears, start attacking his enemies. The Arbiter fights with an energy sword and can stick the opponent with plasma grenades in true Halo fashion. Yes, it's just as annoying here as it is in the real game. And Rash has all the crazy shape-shifting moves he had in the Battletoads arcade game, and a ridiculous dance to go with it. While we love all these characters, extra kudos has to be given to Rash, who seems to recognize what's going on with all these guest characters. He's a smart one, gotta give him that. This is less of a crossover, more of a giant Xbox party where everyone is invited, and that's why it has to take the top spot.
So there we have it. Make sure to let us know what your favourite is in the comments below, and if we've missed any, also if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos.
And make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and check out last week's list feature whilst you're at it. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.